Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D.
Right here at the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl.
That's for the boys.
That was a little D,
Yeah,
D-Mac.
little D. We're all in a little D today. But, oh well, it's all part of the process.
Certainly it is. And look, we're going to get into all of it. You guys know it. Big D. Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta make D-Mac sad. Come on, man.
The grimmest of grim outcomes. It all came into effect last night. And, hey, you know, we knew that this was a scenario, one of the plausible scenarios that was out there. And in the end, the Red Wings.
Philly.
Knew that was coming.
Wow, that was quick even for Spenny right there. You know,
In the most Detroit way possible.
yeah. Hey,
Garbage ass city. Rocky sucks. Cheesesteaks are overrated.
Wait, let's not go
You guys
to
are
Rocky.
bums.
Top 5 Wednesday,
It is.
top 5 shittiest cities. I wonder what's going to be on everyone's list. I will qualify this, though. I will say this. Mine was already, and you guys have heard this before, I've already made my case against Philadelphia, non-hockey related. So, just spoiler alert, yes, Philadelphia is on my list, but I'll give you the why. And it's not because
Your bell is stupid.
it's cracked, for Christ's
Cracked,
sake.
Yeah.
Old ass Bill.
Liberty Bell or the Detroit sign? 313.
Yeah.
That's tough.
KG, should we take some calls today?
Ooh, I mean, I'm all for it if you are. The phone lines are up and working, so.
Yeah, we'll do it a little bit later, 11:28.
Yeah, okay.
11:28. We'll let the people's thoughts out there.
Yeah, let's get some therapy
on the Red
going.
Wings and all of it. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Get your thoughts in there. People are fired up. They're in there right now. Alan W. I don't care what anybody says. The NHL wanted Ovechkin in the playoffs. They took away a Flyers goal, broke one of our guys' cheekbones. No call. It goes on and on. And D-Mac, I was watching.
Where's the iceberg Bettman conspiracy theory? I want to see that one. I haven't seen that iceberg on YouTube yet.
No,
Somebody
but
do that one.
I got that feeling, though, when the Flyers got that goal and it got called back. And look, to be fair, the whistle did blow before the puck was put in. It did. Like, I saw it, whatever. But I kind of got the feeling right there that things weren't going to go well. But I want to ask the people this question, D-Mac, and I think it's a look into the window of what kind of people we are. Did you watch more of the Red Wings game? Or because I know you were dual zoning it, right? Dual monitoring it, right?
I was.
Are you watching more of the Washington game or more of the Red Wings game?
Oh, well, actually, I had to turn the Red Wings game off for a minute, right, until they started going, and I turned it back on when it was 4-3. I saw the Prawn tying goal, right? I'm weird like that. Like, if I'm watching and they're down, I'll turn it off. I'll pay attention to my phone notifications and stuff, but
You'll change the physiology.
I'll change the physiology.
You're big on that.
I'm huge on that. So to answer your question, the Philly game stayed on the whole time, and you're right. It's one of these, you just felt it. And I think the more the egregious thing, because they called it, they did blow the whistle, right? Whether it was an early whistle or not is argument, but the high stick was even more egregious. But you could just feel it, right? You just
got the feel.
And I know, right, that that's not the case, that they can't make it happen and Bettman can't mysteriously make it happen, but it feels that way sometimes when it comes down to it. So, Ovi's last ride. I just think that the most egregious thing, Spenny, that tweet I sent you, right, where it shows the stats.
Yeah.
Right, and that's it hit me this morning. Not when we were talking about it, not or anything, but right here when I pulled this, somebody had tweeted this, and it shows, look at the wins that you don't get rewarded for. I get the Islanders, right, because, you know, whatever, they got there, but when it comes down to a tiebreaker and it's not wins, I don't get it. So maybe that's me being sourpuss. But
that's what the East Coast, the entirety of the East Coast has accused me of on Twitter, by the way, when I just brought it up. And look, like I'm not crying about it. I'm not. I knew what the scenario was going in. I'm not blaming it on that.
Yeah.
I just want the why. Why is your system like this? Why does the NHL reward losing when no other sport in the world rewards losing? I just want the why. And we'll get into that a little bit later on. I don't want it coming off as sour grapes or anything like that. But I found myself, too, I was more watching Washington-Philadelphia than I was the Red Wings game. And what does that say about KG? Which one were you more on?
I was watching the Wings.
You were more in on the Wings?
Yeah, I had they kept flashing the score, so
that was good enough for you?
I was hopeful that they would do it, and they didn't. So
what were you more on, Spenny?
I was 100% on the Wings.
Were you?
I didn't even flip to Washington, Philadelphia. And it was funny, though, when Ken Daniels and Mickey were talking about, like, I think this is the first time we've ever called 2 games at the same time because they kept updating the other one.
Yeah.
Like, that was impressive, honestly.
It was.
You know what, though, is that, and yes, there will be accountability. There will be stuff that, we were talking about before the show because, what did I say? Which games did I say would come back and haunt you? That you needed 1 point in these 2 games that you played this team back. Who would? Which team? Worst team in the league, Arizona. Right? Went in there, laid an egg, and then let them come in here and absolutely truck you. Mm-hmm. So if you want to look back to that, it's you did it to yourself, and there should be accountability to that. But if you look at the big picture on the growth of this team and where it is, Neal, you can't say that you haven't gone further down the highway. Now
I just take exception.
Without argument, the clock's broken. And it's make or break, and now everything's out there, right? You got the questions of the goaltending, who's going to be the defenseman. But to me, and this is the one thing that I think, is that could be the biggest blessing in disguise moving forward. Because why? Because as a professional athlete, when you know that you are responsible for you not succeeding, not what anybody else did to you, but what you didn't do or didn't accomplish, that's going to eat you for your whole off season, and hopefully, like it used to do to us, motivate us for greatness in the next season to be able to take another step. We're still 2-3 steps away. But what you got to feel these last 2 games was like game 6 and 7 of must wins in a playoff atmosphere, in a playoff game. So, yeah, it sucks. It sucks because we did it to ourselves. Yeah. But that's life. How many of us can relate to, looking back and I wish I didn't do that. Yeah. I wish I could have changed that. So that's what they're going to do moving forward.
Cody Engel, don't drop 2 games to Utah Coyotes and we don't even care. See, here's what I want.
Sulkers.
Here's what I do want to get out there though. Like this whole Coyotes thing, they had a winning record at home. They beat more people than they lost to at home. Like people speak about the Coyotes like they're the Blackhawks or something like that, which they are not. They are not. They're actually in a good position to be a pretty decent team. They're on the come up. They are, believe it or not. Sad we're going to lose those jerseys, I think. Yeah. But,
some good looking.
I know that's become look, those become our talking points, right? Like that those become our our political stances that we get on. We're like, the Coyotes games. Dude, more people lost in Arizona than won. The whole league. So I do want to stop that. I'm just going to put the flags out there when I hear dumb shit today. That's dumb shit. It is. Now, you can't lose to them at home. Obviously, you can't lose to them at home. But again, it just goes through it all, D-Mac, and we're gonna get there. We are gonna go deep into this because, D-Mac, it's everything we got out of this was so wild, man. Like that 3 seconds to go this last week.
Yeah.
All of it, man. This was insane. I had buddies texting me that said, I haven't watched this much hockey in a decade.
Listen, I'm watching that final face-off in regulation, and when Larkin doesn't win it clean but goes down and then uses the butt of his stick to play it back, and it's just a quick pass out front, that's as much a Hail Mary. The fact that Braun's shot got through and whatever. And you got to give them credit because they didn't quit, and they knew going into the shootout they were done. But still, isn't it apropos Patrick Kane ends the season on his stick?
Yeah.
In a shootout?
And this, okay, I gotta talk about this because I saw it on Twitter. I'm seeing it in the chat with Cody Ingle and different things. And yes, it's disappointing that they didn't make the playoffs. We are all saying that. Nobody's saying, oh, it's fine they didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. It's a disappointment. But you can also say they grew as a team. They got 11 more points than they did last year. They fixed the offense. They had almost twice as many double-digit goal scorers. You have guys, rookies, and young guys that took a leap. Like, both things can be true. It doesn't have to be black and white. It doesn't have to be one thing or another. I know that's how we are as a society. It's either you're on one side or you're on the other. Like, both things can be true. It could be a disappointing season, and they could also grow as a team. Like, get over it. It's not all doom and gloom. You can look at the bright side while knowing it's still a disappointment. They didn't make the playoffs.
That's facts.
Here's the deal. All right, you know what? Then let's just get into that then. Shall we?
Yeah.
Like, and I hear a lot of people around town, some of the media folk in town. Mm-hmm. You guys fill in the rest. They can't say the word collapse enough. It was a collapse. Again, and this is even the Sam Flannel thing. So, like, an empty net goal scored by Washington makes this a collapse by the Red Wings. To whereas if Philadelphia wins, I'm getting my season tickets. I'm in. Get the car flags out. Hey, Hockey Town. An empty net goal. That was a difference, KG. It was. And you know that's how the people would be. And when you can take any micro section of a season and say, well, it was a collapse. How about this, everybody? Maybe they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Maybe they weren't a 14-4 team either. The same way that you want to say, well, they were 4-14 coming down the stretch. So all those people that want to put that out there, if it was reversed and they went 4-14 in March and February, and then at the end here went 14-4, then everything would be cool. What would be the difference? What would be the difference?
When you're almost in the top 6 seeds, and like I said, the points you make.
Do you think maybe they were playing above their skis a little bit there?
They could have been, but when you are 12 games above 500, I think you have to consider that a collapse. They were in position to have a top 6 seed possibly.
I would say that was a regression to the mean.
Can you look at the schedule and say the schedule didn't benefit them? What are the games they lost? Or whatever? You can go back to doing anything else.
I hate that
Hook
shit,
Harded
D-Mac.
said it the best. It's a short-term disappointment, and we're all disappointed. But the long-term big picture is bright.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the whole thing. Yes. But I don't understand why everybody is acting like we just lost in the second round of the playoffs when we expected to win the cup. You know,
people make it sound.
Do you know that that's probably coming, and you're going to be way more pissed off of that? Yes, but it's also to learning, right? How many times you got to learn? What do you want? I mean, it's like that they lost in a tiebreaker. Right, to the fact of being there. Now there's disappointments, and you got to hold people accountable. So the accountability of whatever your collapse and your demise, if you don't go, right? You look at the coach, and I know everybody's going to say, is Lalonde the right guy or whatever. I stick to the point is that, again, I believe in the long term, this would be a blessing. Is it disappointing? Yes, I took the clock off. They came up short. You know what? They fell at the finish line. They were right there and fell at the finish line. Didn't cross the finish line.
Yeah.
But am I going to quit on them? No, because I see that, you know what? The next race, that's never going to happen again.
That's all.
We ain't digressing. We ain't going back from here. I refuse. So if that means that this is the jumping point to that means that from now on, it will be playoffs. And the expectations will be playoffs, or else it should be changes.
Yeah, and I like I said, I agree with a lot of the points that you guys say. My only sticking point is that they were ahead of the curve. And even though you did lose Dylan Larkin, the skid that you went on, it was a bad skid. Like, they didn't have to lose as many games in that skid. So is there any accountability for that part of the season? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, the accountability is you didn't have anybody to step up as being the blatant 1C. You don't have your Fedorov or a guy that could carry the load, right, up the middle like you did back in the day. So you saw the glaring misses that if you missed Dylan Larkin, and then you added that to Rasmussen
Yeah,
you know, and stuff like this.
You don't think it looks worse when you have so many double-digit goal scorers on the team, though, even though Larkin went down? There was proof there that they should have been able to withstand some of that.
And they didn't rise up. Yeah, they didn't rise up.
You know what it's like, Neal?
But which tells me that they were playing above the board for them.
Neal, you know what it's like? 5 handicap, right?
Yep.
3 under after 9. What are the odds when I just shoot on the back? 3 under?
No.
Or come back to reality and shoot
43.
probably 4 over.
Yeah, 43 right? Loading. Yeah.
Right. Because why? Because your handicap, right, is sort of your bounce. You're going to come back. So during that win streak, maybe they were shooting a little bit under par, and the end of the season, they didn't play as well because shooting. I know I'm getting into golf, but shooting the 43 ain't acceptable. You need to be a 39 or a 40 on the back. That's what they didn't do. They shot the 43 instead of the 42.
For me, it comes down to that the collapse was disappointing, but it's more than not having Dylan Lark. I think the singular thing you can look at is goaltending. If you had a goaltender,
and we knew that.
If you had a number 1 goaltender, a guy that is your guy, and you can pencil him in for 30 wins on the season or whatever it is, you're in the playoffs. You don't have that on this team. That's not Alex Lyon. That's not even Ville Husso.
Among other things they don't have.
Yeah, that singular position, if you had a goaltender, you would be in the playoffs right now.
And I agree with that. And we'll get into that too. The why. Like the whys. Not last night, not the collapse. Or it's funny because, like I said, the Capitals had an exact similar trajectory to them. It was just in reverse.
Yeah.
And actually the Wings were better over the last 10 games than Washington was. So like,
and when the Red Wings were going crazy, when they were in that playoff position and they were making things happen and everybody was all hype, it's because Alex Lyon was playing out of his fucking mind. And he
had
came
never
back
done that in his life.
He came back.
Here's a great Chris Ogdahl. The Wings were an empty net game-winning goal away from making the playoffs while playing every night with one or the other of their backup goalies in net. That's just reality.
No, and Spenny, you know, it's funny just looking at it. I won't even tell you who they were playing during that little win streak that they had. You look at it, 0 goals allowed, 3 in overtime, 1 in an overtime win. That was against Colorado, by the way. 1, 2 in overtime, 3. Like there's some commonality. It's just common sense. See, and again, all right, let's take the break. And then we're going to get into it, everybody. Let's just cut the shit and get into it. Let's just do what everybody's here to do, all right? We can quit dancing around it, and we can just get into it. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm here till 1 o'clock.
Are you going to take the glasses off at any point?
No.
To make your point even stronger?
I will. Hold on.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. The ponder face.
Tell them about Dispo.
Absolutely. Visit Dispo Dispensary on the coveted 420 holiday. That would be this Saturday, and experience the team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Dispo's putting on epic events at each location with thousands upon thousands of giveaways that day. That's right, thousands of giveaways. Go visit your local cannabis plug, Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan and Jerome Bettis' Bus Stops Here Foundation is proud to present the 3C Sports Conference to educate, inform, and inspire players, parents, coaches, all in our local communities. Featuring impactful speakers like Jerome Bettis, Eddie George, Adam Schefter, Calvin Johnson, and Lee McNeil will be involved as well. April 24th through the 26th. For more info and for tickets, scan that QR code on the screen right now and sign up today. All right, we're getting into it here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. And, of course, we have KG and Spencer Raxter as well. Our old buddy Tactile Puma 58. Mr. Carflag always loved the Red Wings, even though he thought they had horrible goaltending. Yes, Tactile Puma, that is an exact 100%
True statement.
assessment.
Yeah.
100%. Because Tactile Puma, I didn't say after they had ripped off 12 out of 16 and said, "Wow, this team's going to beat the Florida Panthers and win the Stanley Cup. They're a contender." No, I knew they were playing above the ceiling. Anyone who has any kind of cognitive understanding of what was going on knew that. I know because I talked about it all season. It's like, they're running a little hot right now, you guys. There's going to be some regression to the mean. And there was. And Byrne also said it well. And this kind of runs counter. So when I tweeted yesterday about the whole NHL point structure system and how ridiculous it is, Byrne had a great message in here, D-Mac. He's like, you know who won? It wasn't the Capitals. Obviously, it wasn't us. It wasn't the Islanders fans. It was Gary Bettman that won.
Yeah, fuck, he always wins.
Because you had major markets with blue blood teams that were locked in.
Yeah, and vitriol being spewed on Twitter between all the different. It was like a fatal four-way match. And it was like they were coming from everywhere. Oh, there's a chair from the Philly fan. Oh, wow. Right. Look out. The table's been set up by the Islanders. Oh, here come the Wings, guys. Boom, off the top rope.
Yes, absolutely. But, yeah, so El Gato, fire the coach. So let's do it, man. Give me the accountability, I guess you could say, the why. And in Spencer Raxter fashion, I'll lead off. They don't have a legit NHL day-to-day goalie. They don't. Yeah. They just don't. They are 2 defensemen away. Their leading scorer had 68 points, something like that? You got Kucherovs of the world. Everywhere I look around the NHL, you got 120-point guys on teams. They don't have that. So, I know it's easy button to just push the button and say, Derek Lalonde. No, that's easy. That's easy to say. I get that. And he's going to be the one that falls on the sword. And to go back to your question, KG, what's the accountability? Who's the accountability fall on? I would say that it is another step in the progression. Mm-hmm. If you're dying on the hill for a body, right? If you need a pound of flesh, and you want to come at me and said someone's got to pay for it, the coach has to go. You see that in the NHL a lot.
Yeah,
I'll meet you in the middle on that. If you need a pound of flesh, that's what I'll offer you. But by and large, I'm not deterred. I don't think it's a collapse. I think they were a 500 team that missed in a league that's designed for you to miss by 1 point with all their ridiculous rules in a league where you get rewarded for losing. D-Mac, if you had to, what is your take on it? The 30,000 foot.
They were never to the next level because we always knew that because it starts with goaltending in this league, and you watch as the playoffs come along, whose goaltender gets hot. Right? Who is the backstop to that? So, there it is. We hear about, trying to fill in your 2 defensemen away. Maybe you're only 1 now because of Simon Edvinsson. He's pretty much, secured his job. But the Petries and it's questions to what goes on for the supporting role. We saw guys make different steps. Again, I'm looking at the points, right? So the number one thing is you brought up right out of the rip. Bring up the points leaders in the NHL. Right?
You don't want to do that.
I do. No, I do because this is where I want people to understand having a 1C, what that means. Because when I'm looking at, Lucas Raymond Ends up playing all 82 games and leading the team in points, 72. Now, Dylan Larkin only played 68, but he had over a point a game, 69 points, which,
Nice.
you know, what a great
It's a good total
year.
end on.
You know,
let me know when you want it, D-Mac. I got it.
Who's leading the league right now?
All right, so as far as NHL
Kucherov, right?
stat
Yeah,
leaders,
I know.
Nikita Kucherov had 142 points. He had 43 goals and 99 assists.
Okay.
Nathan McKinnon had 138 points. He had 51 goals and 87 assists. Connor McDavid played 75 games, 32 goals, 100 assists for 132 points.
So
Panarin had 120 for the Rangers. Pasternak had 110. Austin Matthews had 107. Draisaitl had 106. JT Miller for the Canucks had 103. And Mikko Rantanen had 103. Those are your 100-point scores this year. There were 9 of them.
900-point scores, right? And you look at the one in there, right? Like, obviously, like, top-level guys in the Kucherovs and all this stuff, and, you know, McDavid gets hurt, you got Draisaitl and stuff like this, but guys like a JT Miller, right? That's not proverbially a number one guy, but a guy that steps up. So it goes to show you, when you got 72 points leading your team, right, and other teams have 100-point guys, like, let alone Kucherov has twice as many points as your top guy, which that just goes to show you in today's NHL. So to answer
For a team that's on the backside right now.
To answer your question, right, that I think, and the goaltending is as imperative as anything, but to me, the glaring thing is that we need that 1C. We need that 100-point guy, right? So Dylan Larkin could be the point-of-game guy, the second guy, but we need that splash more than anything in today's NHL. If you added that guy, you took out, you know. So, you know, and other guys, you got the role guys. Like, I look at these points, and it's consistency, right? But it's more consistent to second, third line, fourth line guys, not number one. Look at number one points
and D-Mac,
line across
when
the
you
league.
have those guys, you don't have dry runs. You don't go 4-12. Your bad stretches are 5-7. You know what I'm saying? 5-9 at worst. Like, that's, you don't have those kinds of drought. And look, I know it's easy to sit here and say that right now because I know immediately what the question, because it's a question I would have. Well, D-Mac, what do you do to get one of those guys? Because there's only 8 of them in the league, and you ain't in a hurry to get rid of one if you got one.
Right, and or it's the development, or it's like
is Lucas Raymond that guy?
See, maybe, but here's the thing, because Lucas Raymond what would Luke? See, here's the whole thing. Now you got to see is you're getting to the point where you have the assets, you have the money to make that move. Because my question is, what if you bring that guy to Lucas Raymond? Then you got 2 guys, right? You know what I'm saying? To that point, or whatever else. It's you got to bring somebody in that makes the guys around you better too. You know what
No.
These are different questions to get to different levels. I know we focus on the goaltending and the defense, and yes, we should. That's glaring. But to me, it's that 1C.
And Spenny,
I don't know. So I know above my pay grade. That's why Stevie's, Stevie's got work to do. But that's, to me, the glaringness. Because why? You nailed it, Neal, which was my final point. With guys like that, you don't fall into those
4-12 runs.
4-12 ruts.
And Spenny, I'll go to you because you're locked into the prospect pool and all that kind of stuff. They think they have their answer at the goalie spot, don't they?
Yeah, they think they do.
Kosa is that dude.
Kosa and then Augustine coming up. They have 2 guys. Obviously, Augustine's going to take a couple more years before he's near the big leagues. But yeah, Kosa's probably a year away. They'd probably give him a full year in Grand Rapids next year, and then he's your guy.
And so it stands to reason, and before everybody gets the pitchforks out again for Stevie Y, as we're talking this through right now, they'll probably run it back again at the goalie spot, right? So for the people, and I see this comparison with the Red Wings and the Lions. Well, look at what the Lions did. The Lions had their guy at the most important position in their game, Jared Goff. They had their guy. And he came out and was second in the league in yardage and 4th in touchdowns. You can say what you want about him. That's what he was. That's a factual statement. Yes, sir, Mr. KG.
Yeah, so my other question was leaning toward maybe next year and the young talent that's going to be coming up. Obviously, it's going to be a roster shakeup. Do you have any confidence that they can even, with younger players, they can even match what they accomplished this year? Or do you think they can surpass that? Is there any concern that instituting this with younger players, will they have a drop-off?
I would say that you're probably are you looking for a bust out from Lucas Raymond? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he jump into that 40-goal air? Because by all accounts, it would seem like he maybe turned a corner this year, right?
For me, I expect 40+ goals from Lucas Raymond next year. And you look at all the double-digit scoring guys that we had on the, like, if Bergeron plays a whole season, he's going to be a double-digit scoring guy. If Marco Kasper's up here for a whole season, he's going to be a double-digit scoring guy. Like, the guys you have in the minors and in your system, their ceilings are much higher than the Daniel Sprongs or the Andrew Kopps or the guys that you have right now that are the stopgap veterans. You have the truth, the real talent coming up through your system, that the guys that you looking to, obviously Danielson, he's a couple years away. Palinka is a couple of years away, but the guys that are ready, the guys that are going to make the jump probably next year, their ceiling is higher than what the guys you have on the roster.
But how oh, my bad. Go ahead. No, how long do you think that learning curve will be, though?
No, to answer your question, it's development. And if you pay attention to what they're doing down in Grand Rapids and how, like, especially second half of the year, they're coming together and, stepping up and playing and develop, it's different than it used to be, right? So I got to believe that in our system that these kids will be ready to play.
Okay.
My question, right, in the perfect scenario, just to stay on the goaltending, right, is the fact because, the season coach is having, and we're going to see what Grand Rapids can do in the playoffs and whatever else. But if Ville Husso, right, if he's healthy, then you possibly could run him and Kosa and bring Kosa up and run it next year if you believe that Kosa's ready. You know what I'm saying? So those are options. But to your point, Neal, more than likely, be prepared for them to run it back like this year because they're probably
and they have them too. Like Ville Husso's here, Alex Lyon's here for $900,000 next year. So
I think on the wall.
The writing's on the wall. It's like, this is why we like to do this, guys. Before we get into fantasy land and waste our time on dumb shit. I want to like deal in fact a little bit and see what it looks like. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward. That's right, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m., live right here on Woodward Sports. Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB Smoove, and KG every single morning. They cover all Detroit sports. Sports Talk banner, fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network. Did you hear what I said? Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The new glorious ice water bubble hash pre-roll now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best Canna experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check us out at your local retailer. That'd be Dispo, or go to gloriouscanna2ends.com.
Keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. The Red Wings fallout as the season comes to an end last night after Washington's empty net goal against the Flyers that secured their berth in the playoffs. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty. Hey, he's a pretty good Red Wing source to
Eat
have
shit,
here.
Philly.
Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 hated cities, ironically enough.
Yeah. I saw a lot of that particular city from y'all. It makes me not want to go there.
And mine's got nothing to do with sports. It's just that it's a trash city, and it's never viewed as such, but it is.
I want to hear it.
It's a trash city.
I can't wait to hear
Spenny's heard it before.
I've heard it before.
Yeah, he
Y'all
knows.
making me not want to go there, so.
There's no reason to. There's absolutely no reason to. It's trash. It's not fun. There's nothing to do there after 9 o'clock, which was wild to me.
Yeah.
Wild to
That's
me.
like a city in my list. But we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Yeah, we certainly will get into it. I know
the world's worst Wawa in Philly. The world's worst Wawa. That is like,
and that tells you right
that's
there.
an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Wawa's awesome. The world's worst. Thanks, Hoodfoot, clown.
All right, but we will certainly get into that. But I know that there are callers lining up as it is right now, and certainly I do, because look, this is almost like a reaction show.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to get everybody's take on it. 313-552-6322. Red Wings Fan Club, you said, is first up here. Thanks for calling Big D Energy. What's up, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to talk to you.
Yes, sir. What do you got?
All right, so here's my take on it. Yeah, it's disappointing, and this roster was absolutely good enough to make the playoffs this year. But I think the people making the most noise on calling it a collapse and everything like that are the same people that haven't been following this team through the trenches the past 7-8 years and just kind of maybe saw on social media that, oh, man, the Red Wings are good this year. And maybe they saw they had an 8-point cushion with over a month left in the season. Like, oh, they're good. And then seeing they had a 7-game losing streak, but not knowing even how they got to that 8-point cushion, which is this team was converting on so many low-danger shots, and they had offensive sparks sprinkled in throughout the season. And once Larkin got hurt, Husso, which was supposed to be your 1A, goes down. Suspension, maybe a few more, injuries. This team was deep throughout the year, but they were not top 6 talent deep. You lose Larkin, I believe this team easily makes the playoffs if Larkin didn't get hurt.
No,
easily.
Yeah, and Red Wings Fan Club, look, you're preaching to the choir there with that. And don't be bringing logic and analytics into this discussion, Red Wings Fan Club. There's no place for that on social media. You know that. No, but you are exactly right, which kind of backs up to the point that I've been making about it, where this team was playing above their head, and everybody thought that was the norm. And I love the way that you brought that up, too. The casuals jumped back in. The casuals all jumped back in, and as you said, they just kind of parachuted in February with no real concept of what was going on. And I went to earlier Red Wings Fan Club. I went through earlier the goal totals in the wins during that winning streak. How about the goal totals in the losses? 5, 4, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4. You're not winning.
Oh yeah.
You're absolutely not winning.
No.
And as it turns out, that was what they were.
Yeah, and if you saw them at the beginning of the season, the games they were winning, they were giving up 4, 5, 6 goals. It's just that DeBrincat was hot, Larkin was hot. They were all producing, and even during that time frame, that's how a lot of the depth forwards were, getting their goal count up. So, yeah, it is disappointing, but if you were really following them through the whole season, Spenny said, since last year's point totals, they're 11 points clear of that this year.
No doubt.
And if you look at the point totals since Yzerman came, it has been like a substantial difference every year, not just a few points. It's substantial. So, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people were, on the train of why didn't he bring the youth in sooner and this and that. And I get that, but my thing is if you really wanted a young team, all you got to do is look at the Senators and the Sabres, and you'll see what, might could have happened if Yzerman brought up, say, 5 young guys this year, because he wants them to develop in GR. They're going to the playoffs now in GR. And once he sprinkles them in next year and the year after, they're playing the same system with Dan Watson as they do with Malone right now. So
all right,
that's kind of why I feel like that's why Edvinson could slip in so easy. But
Yeah, no, absolutely. Appreciate the phone call, my friend. And D-Mac, like, he kind of laid it down.
It's a collapse. No, but for everybody who wants to call it a collapse, you just nailed it. Absolutely defensive collapse that they weren't. What happened is with Larkin out of that, and I see Cody, you're losing Larkin didn't make you lose to bad teams. What it affected is your flow. What affected is you weren't able to figure out how to adjust to that and figure out a flow. Why? Because you're letting up 4, 5, 7 goals a game and stuff like this. So not having him in there hurt you a lot more than it helped you because other guys, they didn't step up. So if you want to say that was, a collapse or you did, then that's your terminology, then fine. If that makes you feel better. That's the whole thing is why I said this will be a blessing in disguise because they know that they did it to themselves. That's what they want to say. I'll ask them this summer on the golf course, say, is that a collapse? Or you could call it that. It's you controlled your own destiny. How many times did I sit up here in the last 2-3 weeks? The best part is that you win, you control your own destiny. Well, when didn't it happen? Last night, right? Where you played with fire too long and last night you finally got burned. So you got to learn from it or not. And it was the Larkin not only missing him on the score sheet, but the flow of how guys didn't step up into different roles. Veleno, right? He's your fourth line, maybe third line guy, and you're expecting him to play second and first line minutes and produce like Larkin. Isn't that irresponsible of you? Right? The thing that I would be upset about is the goals against with him up there, that's the unacceptable part. Right?
Agreed.
So there's questions to be asked on different guys that are responsible. And what do you do now? You go back and correct those mistakes and be realistic about it. So nobody's happy, right? Because you did it to yourself. But I mean, what are you guys going to do when you lose a playoff round? Or you lose in the conference finals.
Here's a little note for you, D-Mac. Did you know that Scotty Scheffler went to high school where Clayton Kershaw and Matt Stafford went to high school?
Was he the
Makes
third
sense.
baseman?
No, he wasn't. Don't bring
Makes
that
sense.
one back up.
Anyway, we got another caller on the line?
Yeah, we do.
Let's sneak it in right now. Who we got?
Drew, I believe he's a new caller. You know, Big D, Drew.
Drew, what's up, man?
Hey guys, first off, I want to just state my credentials. I'm not called a casual, because I have
Roll
completely right. So, D-Mac, I just want to tell you it's an absolute pleasure. You're a legend. My first hockey game with my dad in '97 was seeing you get revenge on Claude. So, I mean, that was just legendary core memories, and just gotta say thanks for all those. So I look at this team, and I see a team, Neal, that is a lot better than what they are. I think they've been held back by coaching decisions. I've beat this drum all year long, this dump and chase hockey, when you got guys like Patrick Kane, who are phenomenal. His whole career, Hall of Fame career, one of the best American hockey player ever. When he brings the puck into the zone, his whole career, he goes, east-west. And he creates space that way. And you have that guy on your team. And you have Larkin, who's a phenomenal play driver with the puck on his stick, bringing it into the zone. And you're playing this dump and chase hockey with guys who suck at forechecking. It's just very, very frustrating. I want him personally gone. But I'm going to wrap this up with a little bit of good news. Is we got 91 points this year, boys. That's a sign.
They were fit.
Bring them home.
Bring them home. There he dropped to bring them home on the end. I like it. Drew, appreciate you, man. Feel free to call in anytime. But D-Mac,
I have no problem with that call
No.
and questioning.
And that's where I'll meet the people in the middle, KG, and that's your answer.
Question and putting the lines together. Why do they play this sort of system? And these are all the questions, right, that have to be accountable. So, yes, these are questions that the coach has to answer to put it out. I would say with Larkin out, you were more of a dump and chase team. But you took away from the DeBrincats and the Canes when you don't have puck possession because you can't utilize their assets to the benefit. So, yes, yes, you can question that. And I have the same questions a lot of time. That's the low, slow key I think people forget about Scotty Bowman. Why we say he wasn't just the greatest coach, he was the greatest psychologist, right? Because he figured out. We were talking about golfing with Manny Legacy and Joey the other day, and we were talking about how many different times in practice we different guys would play with each other. We called it the bingo balls. Like and you had different colored jerseys in practice, right? The D-men would wear black, and then there'd be a white line. The number 1 line was a red line. Our line was like a green line or something like this. But Scotty just get on his thing and you go play with you and today. So when it happened in the game and he'd mix it up, we were all comfortable
and excited
with each other and excited.
Yeah.
And it would usually work. Right? So that's that's the whole thing as far as combinations, style of play, systems. Yes, this is a time to question it.
What's going to be the combination for NHL or for NFL draft night, everybody?
What's that?
Oh, you got a D-Mac?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was my bad. That was a spell.
Here's the combination. Switching gears, April 25th and 26th. Join the entire Woodward Sports family as we broadcast the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. We will be downtown at the corner of Woodward and Adams at the 313 draft party presented by Figer Law, Jars Cannabis, Lost Farm, and Gold Crown. 21 plus and free to everyone. Party starts at 2 p.m. on Thursday, and the live draft coverage begins at 8 p.m. We hope to see you downtown at 313 Draft Party. Special thanks to Soroki's and Glorious. While the world watches Detroit, we will show the world how Detroit parties, right, Smitty?
Oh, yeah.
At the 313 Draft Party.
First pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
All right, everybody, listen up. After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time. It's legally the most important point of your life, and I'm telling you guys this to drive it home. So make Figer Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. That is right. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. Guys, this is important, man. But maybe the biggest legal spot you'll ever be in after an accident. Remember, Figer Law, all we do is win.
All we do is win.
All right, keep it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, all of you. Jump in, too, by the way, 313-552-6322. We don't do a whole lot of phone calls here on Big D Energy typically, but I need to do a better job of that because we actually have good callers, unlike some of the other networks in town. It's not a clown show.
Yeah.
So I value our callers. We've had a lot of common sense. There's been some common sense to the party so far. Jump into that chat thread as well. Get those thoughts out there. Cody Engel, our guy. How can you not call March a collapse? I followed the team since I was a kid. The caller literally just defined what a collapse is. We had a lead and lost it. That's a collapse. Well, Cody, I guess the verbiage is where we lose each other. I call it a regression to the mean. I call it returning to what you've been proven to pretty much be throughout the course of your hockey career. That's what I call it. Almost, dare I say, it was somewhat predictable that they were never, in fact, a 5 seed in the Eastern Conference or whatever level that they were up to at one time. We went through the issues of it all. And as also, too, I won't call it a collapse when you were 15% better than you were the year before. 15% better they were.
Yeah.
How many teams have that kind of improvement over a year to year? Not many. Improved by 15%. That's a big number, man.
It's a big number, especially in NHL, and how hard it is to win.
And the bullshit got fixed. Like the stuff that I hate, the power play, much improved. The face-offs much improved, except when there was a big one. KG, I was getting
Are you
pissed.
kidding?
I know.
Biggest one of the year last night he won.
He won that one. Right, absolutely. But like leading up to it, when they were at a 2-man disadvantage for 12 seconds. You got to win that face-off. You got to win it, man. But yeah. And look, like that pace last night and over the last week, that is not sustainable.
Yeah, coming back like that.
Winning with like
every
3
game.
seconds or tying it with 3 seconds and tying it with a minute to go. That was not sustainable. It was fun, though.
It was.
It was a fun ride. And I like where the franchise is at. Doesn't mean I love everything. I know people are talking, too, about the free agent, like the Justin Hulls and stuff like that. And, guys, if you're in a spot where a GM has to hit 1,000 on every draft pick and every free agency. Again, I just come at this with a realistic perspective, D-Mac. I don't expect a GM to drill every single free agent signing and every draft pick. I guess I'm stupid like that. I don't know. But, whatever. But, yeah, get your thoughts in there. We're taking them. I like where the franchise is at. Johnny Little, Neal, you're my mental doppelganger. I don't know if that's a good thing for you or a good thing for me. I don't know. One of the two. Mike G, goal-scoring depth across the lineup improved too. It did, but that's also what happens, and that was by design, right? Like Yzerman and D-Mac, I'm curious to get your take on the philosophy because you kind of called this as it was playing out. The veteran acquisitions, most of them hit, some of them failed. The veteran acquisitions, that's why they were kind of on brand. I've always said this, D-Mac, when you lose in sports, when you're a playoff team or challenging for a playoff, when you're around a 500 or better team, when you lose in sports, it's usually what your deficiencies are that caused you the loss. And that's what it was with the Red Wings.
No, it really was. I mean, I was almost ready to give Flannel props yesterday when I saw his tweet about in big games you can't give up 4 goals, right? Which is they're still not there yet. I mean, the vehicle's moving down the road, but it needs some work, right? Somebody asked me what, and now's the time where to sit back, watch the rest of the playoffs, see how it plays out. But it's something that you would expect when guys that are free agents or come available, or some of these trade and sign sort of things as we get into it. Now's not the time. You can look at it, but you won't know depending on how different guys and mostly veteran seasons come up. So, yeah, this is what you are, right? And the big thing, Neal, you brought up, you're 15%. If you get 15% better next year, you're a 105-point team or a 103-point team, right? And then where are you sitting, hosting a home game? Are we where the Red Wings, are we not only making the playoffs next year, but hosting a home playoff series in the first round like we were with the Lions, right after they won in Green Bay at the end of the year but didn't make the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't
want
to be a wild card team next year.
Yeah,
okay, so that's all I'm saying.
But we just got through with it though, D-Mac. Like we painted the picture for you what they're going to do at the goaltending spot.
Right, so that
I don't know that that's enough to get you a home.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that the moves to be made before training camp to see what comes in. So right now your expectations are still only a wild card team because you're still missing key pieces.
I just want to prepare the people
your
for that.
Your biggest key piece is your goaltender.
And they're not going to change anything. They're not. Because they have their guy, right, Spenny? You're telling me.
Because they're buying time for these next 2 kids to come up and hold it down for years, I guess.
But that's
Augustine and Kosa.
That's kind of the scary part about this thing going forward, though, because you cannot take a regression. That's the only thing. That's why I asked about, are the young players really ready to step into that role? Because if they take a regression next year,
there'll be problems.
It will be
100%. There'll be and look, there'll be problems for Yzerman. There'll be problems for Lalonde.
Even if they remain the same, I don't think that's good going into next year. If they are at this spot next year, I don't think that's good.
You need to improve. You need to be what Tampa was this year. That's what I need out of the Red Wings next year. And honestly, if your combination of goaltenders, if they could stay healthy as Husso and Lyon instead of Lyon and Reimer, that gets you into the playoffs. Personally, like Husso being the guy that could take the bulk of it, and then Lyon coming.
I'm concerned though about his availability. Like we've seen this play out.
He is a China doll.
That's his resume.
Yeah,
that's his resume, man. Drew K. Prospects need to be viewed as capital. We need to be comfortable with the idea of trading the kids for known commodities. Drew K., and D-Mac, you can back me up. I think Steve Yzerman's more than comfortable with pulling the trigger on that. Now, does he usually go about it a more creative way? Like, because basically what he did was trade Tyler Bertuzzi for DeBrincat and move back about 15 spots in the first round. That's what he did. So, he's usually one that will get more creative in going about it, but at the same time, D-Mac, he's more than comfortable with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen him make moves that he's, when he's comfortable and pulling the trigger, and if it's, part of his plan moving forward. So, I mean, there's still moves to be made. Like, you're still not there, and the thing is your deficiencies are glaring, but it's also too you mentioned, look at the positives, right? The power play, the fact that you improved face-offs, or even the penalty killing, wasn't a detriment as it was last year. So
all the metrics were improved. Mike G. And maybe this holds some water. I blame the collapse on not having Mo Cheese or the orange hat guy in the building. Thoughts on Mo Cheese, D-Mac? Or orange hat guy in the building?
Oh, dude, we miss Mo Cheese, miss orange hat, the sewing lady, all that stuff from the old days. So, but that just means for the new LCA, there's a whole new gimmicks for all of you out there.
Be creative.
Get it in. Be creative. Let's go.
Absolutely. Bada bing, bada boom. Neal looks like he's going to knock on my door later and try to sell me insurance. I'm already insured, Neal. Move it along. But bada bing, bada boom, can we take a look at your policy? Look, if you have the best policy, I'll let you know and I'll be on my way. I just want to make sure that you and your family are protected. Bada bing, bada boom. This isn't about you. This isn't about me, certainly. This is about your family. I see your kids' bedrooms down the hall right there. Are you doing everything you can to protect them? That's the question, bada bing, bada boom, and I have an answer for it. So let's just take a look at your current setup. You have any coffee?
You got it down.
You got to humanize it.
Yeah.
You got to humanize it,
Randall
KG.
Small said you had a dye job, nice dye job. You using the Just for Mass kit? What's going on?
No.
Yeah.
The dye job, never. No, I let nature take its course, everybody. And I'm not going to fight it, no doubt about it. But again, let's do this then. Let's take the break. There are a couple.
You try to seg me over there? You tried to segue me there, and I wasn't paying attention?
No, I wasn't. I just had an Yzerman question for you. No, but I want to take the break. I do want to look at the Wings financials real quick because I think it's timely. And we're here. We're in the heat of the moment.
You're the guy.
Yeah. And the season's over. So let's take a look at it. We'll see where they stand. And then, of course, Top 5 Wednesday, Top 5 Shittiest Cities. I can't wait.
Yeah.
This one could go 2 segments. Let's see. But, hey, D-Mac,
hey,
I'm not an insurance salesman, but if I were, you know who I would work for?
Well, absolutely. Of course. Let's just say you were the Brad Holmes of insurance drafting with the first pick of the 2024 draft.
Swiss Insurance.
Detroit and Neal Ruhl would pick, right, Swiss Insurance Group. Woodward Sports and Detroit's top pick for your insurance needs. Keep your current provider honest and price out Swiss. Today, here's how you do it. Go to SwissINS.com or call my buddy Mark today, 313-530-1698. Tell him Big D Energy, we sent you.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to chicken sandwiches, I've got the champion. That is right. It's the Shake Shack Chicken Shack Sandwich. And guess what, everybody? If you haven't yet, you can try the Chicken Shack Sandwich for free with a $10 purchase. Grab a shake and a crispy crinkle fry, and guess what? Your Chicken Shack will be free. Just use a promo code Woodward in person, online, or download the Shake Shack app. Use promo code Woodward, a free Chicken Shack sandwich with a $10 purchase. I can't do any more for you guys. It's a banger. They sent them in here. We tried them.
Definitely
confirmed. It's one of the tops in the chicken sandwich game. What are you doing? There's lunch for you, everybody. You're welcome. Shake Shack, promo code Woodward. All right, second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. A lot of talk about, did the Red Wings collapse? Should Derek Lalonde be fired? Is Neal ready to start Utah's new hockey team? Because that's what he looks like, according to R.J. Graham.
Yeah,
GM of the Soakers.
Dude, GM. Salt Lake City Soakers.
What would be your first move as the GM of the Soakers?
Well, I would imagine it would probably be the press conference, right?
Yeah.
I would have to say, like, look, I'm just looking forward to being a part of a great organization in a great community like Salt Lake City with great cap space, tons of young talent, and the Soakers are gonna make everybody wet here in Salt Lake City. Hey, could you imagine that one?
Oh. Man, absolutely.
That would be legendary.
And you introduce your assistant GM, the Shaker.
Yeah, absolutely. D-Mac, you want to take a spin? Red Wings financials, what it looks like?
Yes, fill me in, because this will be the only time that until you bring it up again. But you're the man to bring this up when it comes to the dollar.
All right, what do we got, KG? We got somebody? All right, let's do this. Let's do the call, then we'll do the financials. Is that cool? Who we got?
Sounds good. We got John on the line. John, you're on Big D Energy.
John, what's up?
How you doing, guys?
Very, very well. Thanks, man.
Good. So I understand our roster looks like Swiss cheese right about now with the 1C and the goalie. And in my eyes, we only got 4 real defensemen. But just to hear you guys' opinion, I've noticed over the course of the season that when we're losing the close games, it's because the other teams are just bullying us with the Kachucks and the big grizzly bear that Florida's got playing for them. I'm wondering how you guys feel about if free agency were to come up or if we were to retool one of our own wingers and build a good grinder.
Well, D-Mac, I'll let you take this one. This is your area of expertise. The physicality. John brought the physicality to the table.
Yeah, that's never out of the question, but they got to play. You got to be able to play. And
he said, can you create that with somebody that you have or something you have?
Yeah, like
you have the guy you got to have it in you, but that's the biggest thing, the biggest difference. Nobody hits anybody. I mean, there are hits here and there, but at the constant pressure and the constant physicality, I think that the game's just too wide. It's so wide open for that. You know, you gotta look at that little dude, that Hudson dude, spinning on a top on defense last night and stuff like this. Can't get your hands on him, right? So it's guys like that is why the dump and chase and why the physical play works out. So it's more of I think that if you have a line on the same page, but everybody, you look at the line, they're not built that way like it used to be in the past. It's more about the skill and stuff like this. That's why, to me, that there's so many leads that are unprotected. So how many, like, forget the 4-goal lead, 3-goal lead. We just watched Montreal blow 3-goal leads and 2-goal leads like it's nobody's business.
That is true. Nobody thought about it that way.
The physicality, it's still there. The rules allow you to do it, but it's a commitment. And here's the one thing. What's the caller's name? John, pay attention to the playoffs. Because the teams that are successful, even the high-flying, high-scoring teams, right, will have a line or 2 lines or 3rd and 4th line that will be that physical line. You'll see more physical play in the playoffs of grinding down. And that's what you need in the regular season, but it's, unfortunately, 2 different games. So to answer your question, it comes down to having the right role, the right players, too.
And you know my response to it, score on the power play.
Yeah. And then that's
then teams don't take penalties against you. You know, like that's and look, that's something where and then the power play becomes more valuable in the playoffs because there are far fewer of them. And typically the teams that score on the power play are the ones that advance. You know, like when you look at these upsets, go right to the power play stats for the series. And those are ultimately the deciders. Face-offs and power plays, man. But, yeah, just taking a look at the Red Wings and where they sit. And, John, appreciate you chiming in, by the way. All right, so here's the deal. What you have committed next year, you have Dylan Larkin at $8.7 million. You have DeBrincat at $7.8 million. You have Andrew Kopp at $5.6 million. JT Compher's here for $5.1 million. Ben Sherratt's here, $4.75 million. Ville Husso, $4.75 million. Fabry's at $4 million. Hull's here at $3.4, and it kind of falls in line after that. As far as the draft goes, they have Boston's first-round pick. Remember, they traded theirs to Ottawa to get DeBrincat, and then we traded Bertuzzi to Boston to get theirs. So we have Boston's first-round pick. They have their own pick in the second round, their own pick in the third round. They have 2 fourth-round picks, and then a pick in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. So draft capital is pretty good. You got 4-5 picks in the first 4 rounds, so you're sitting pretty good as far as that goes. And it doesn't matter really anyway because you won't see those cats for 2 to 3 years anyway. I think that we've learned that around here. The meat and the potatoes, estimated cap space as it sits right now before any extensions are done with Sider or Raymond, because that bill is coming due very, very soon. Cap space right now, $26.5 million. That's where they sit. By the way, too, you're still paying Justin Abdelkader $1.05 million, Spenny.
Spartan dog.
That's the qualifier. Kyler Yamamoto, you're paying him $533,000 as well. So about $1.6 million in dead money.
So even if you give those guys $8 million each, you're still got $10 million left.
Correct. So that's kind of where you're sitting right now as far as that goes. So that 26.5 is a little misleading in that now you're going to have to start doing Raymond and Sider. So that's kind of where it sits.
So do you like where they're at? Looking at it as being a...
Yeah, I think so, because you're in a position to where you can sign your dudes and still be in a spot where you can kind of go. And look, this is where that I think you will see this year. I think you will see some prospect flipping from the Red Wings, right? Because the farm's good, right? That's what we're told.
Yeah.
What is it? Top 8 or something like that?
Well, and they also have, NHL players down there. Mm-hmm. I mean, Johnny Burgers. I mean, it's
anytime he comes in the league, he's scoring goals.
No doubt.
Casper will be up next year. One of those defensemen will be up next year, whether it's Wallander or Johansson. So, yeah. And Evanson showed that he belongs.
He did. So, Spenny, I guess, how do you balance that then, right? Where how much of it's going to come from within and how much of it are you going to have to go to market to get?
I think you get 2 from within, and then you grab 1. You grab 1 from the market.
And that's where you sit?
That's where, yeah.
Who's your 1, though?
I'll have to see if free agents, what the free agent are looking like, but if you can get a top 6 winger from free agency, I'm good with that.
Chuck Brewer says, Neal, so you're saying Stevie has the books in order? He does. That was the first 2 years of this job.
Yeah, it's a big part of
this backs up to it.
I hate, and here's the thing with people that said, I see it a lot. Oh, he's 5 years in. No, he's 3 years in.
3 years in, dude.
Right? So this next year's the 4th year. Now it's, and somebody said earlier in the chat, well, when's not making the playoffs acceptable? Right? Breaking now, from today on out. Forget the clock. I started the timer. The nuke's going to go off. The nuke will go off if they don't
you know what,
address
D-Mac? You guys just heard that, right? The guy that gets accused of, being an organization guy. D-Mac just said that.
I'm an organization guy.
You are.
I'm fine.
No, 100%. But you do it on both sides, though. You just said it right there.
I hold accountability, right? Like this was the last, and a lot of times when I say this, I try to take it like I'm in that dressing room and what the conversation is. That's the end of it for Stevie. He's done with it, right? Like little bit thing. The one thing that he realized and he knows this, and talking to him, one of the things it's a humbling experience. But I go back to who else do you want pulling the trigger? But here's the accountability. So the questions that we all have, we look to see if they're answered, whether it's moves, whether it's signings, whether it's, coaching, whatever it is. Sit back, watch, relax. But the whole thing is the accountability. If we're in this position next year, right, it won't be acceptable. Something will have to change. But I'm confident that it will, and we will be in the playoffs.
And you're calling for it.
I'm calling it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I called the clock off, and when I said I'm taking the clock off, Neal, and you can vouch for me, it was more or less the high point of expectation, the highest of expectations, right?
Yeah.
But it was more of a, as we're talking, that would be the ceiling for this team, is to make the playoffs. So they just fell short by a tiebreaker that I don't agree with. But it was in place at the beginning, and what do I always say? Figure out the rules and play the game better. And you didn't play the game better. You came up short. And I hope that burns. You're a professional, and I hope this burns in your ass. And this hurts you even more. We hear guys coming out, David Perron, and quote about how much they wanted this for Larkin. Never made the playoffs, stuff like this. Well, you know what? It burns a little bit more. I remember losing, like I always tell everybody, losing in 95 to the Cup Finals, even though you lose the Finals, wasn't the worst because we were young. So we're looking around, and we'll get back. Losing to Colorado in the conference finals the next year after setting the league record is when you're like, holy shit. They're not there yet. Like, holy shit, we may never get there. Mm-hmm. They're like, holy shit, we got to dig in even more because it's even harder to get back, and they want to do that. And I think that that's why it's a blessing.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Who farted? Neal, the Wings get to choose which first-round pick they give up this season, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'll have to do a dig on that. I was just kind of going in generalities, like as it sits on the books right now. So you may be right. I have to go look that up again. You know what's funny? I went and looked at the NBA. I wanted to look at the Pistons because we are going to do the Pistons breakdown a little bit. You want to talk about wild? You start looking at NBA future draft picks. One pick can be like a half a page long with all the conditions and everything that's accepted. It is absolutely incredible. Mike G, Mo and Lucas, payday, homies. Yeah, they've shown it. They've absolutely shown it, and they're going to be pillars of this team for a while. Tell them about the QB Challenge, Mo.
The Quarterback Challenge presented by Shake Shack. Your last day to sign up is on Thursday because the challenge is on Friday. And if you win this challenge, you can win 2 tickets to this year's home opener. All you got to do is scan that QR code right there or go to WoodwardSports.com or go to any Shake Shack location to sign up. It's the Shake Shack QB Challenge.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
The BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
Neal Ruhl here for Feldman Automotive. There's 18 Feldman Automotive locations in and around the Metro Detroit area, so you know there's one close to you. And guess what, guys? It's not just one particular brand. They have it all represented. Whatever kind of car you're looking for, FeldmanAuto.com. Then you get to take advantage of what's called the Feldman Advantage. That's right. It is the very most simple car buying experience in the game. They will get you turned around, get you your car, and keep it pushing. And oh, by the way, don't forget about the service departments at all the Feldman Automotive locations as well. Get some work done on my car. It's been incredibly easy. Weirdly easy. Like I wasn't expecting it to be this easy. So if you got a service issue, go to Feldman Automotive, man. They'll get you squared away as well. And don't forget, Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter here with you. Lots of comps. Why do I have such a Utah profile right now?
It's the glasses, man. You look like a Salt Lake City local.
Getting lots of BYU comps. Utah Soakers comps, asking if I'm the GM of the Utah Soakers. Do I look like I could sit?
A copy of your Book of Mormon, please?
Do I look like I could sit in the suite at LCA with Stevie Y?
Oh, you look like you belong in that 2 booths over from me. And that.
Yeah.
You look like the brain trust. Oh, Neal, that must be the money guy. That must be the bean counter.
Who's that guy over there?
He's a guy counting salary cap.
Yes. Drew K says the Wings need a nasty power forward. Real quick, since we were talking about the books and stuff like that, and Spenny, you said you wanted to see like the free agency stuff. Mm-hmm. How does Brent Seabrook strike you?
What?
39 years old.
No, he's been done for years.
Yeah.
Well, he made $6.9 million last year.
For years.
Tyler Myers at 34 years old.
He's done. No.
Jacob Muzzin.
Oh, Muzzin?
Yeah, Muzzin at Toronto. I don't enjoy his work all that much, as you could tell. TJ Brody at 34.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, but no.
I mean, he wouldn't be bad.
Chris Tanev.
I like Tanev.
Yeah.
34 years old. $4.5 million this year. You're liking him less and
Serviceable. No. He's gonna fit like that's a 3-4 guy.
Anybody interested in Filip Hronek?
Why do I know that name?
Yeah.
He's a restricted free agent anyway, though. Shane Gostisbehere, anybody interested?
Well, you look at we're talking about the power play and stuff like this. 27 power play assists, 47 assists. Like the Ghost did what, you look at his plus minus and it's suspy, but that was always like what he was. Like I think that was a good signing for us. He is exactly what you thought he was.
I forget who it was. It was one of the negative people in the chat that said, don't tell me about Justin Abdelkader when Justin Hull's on the team. And again, you know my statement on that. So you need Yzerman to bat 1,000 with every free agency signing. It's not possible. Nobody is doing that. And by the way, too, Justin Hull is not on the books until 2026. Just
Barn dog.
Both things can be true.
It's true.
Both things can be true. Spenny's happy he's getting his money. He just wishes it was from somebody else.
That's fair.
All right. You said we got another call, KG?
Yeah, we do. I think he said his name in the chat is Uper Steve.
All right, tap in. Uper Steve, what's going on? Thanks for joining Big D Energy.
Uper Steve. Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Long-time Wingspan. Shout out to Darren McCarty. Shout out to you, Neal.
Thank you.
And first and foremost, let's congratulate the Wings on a hell of a season. I know you guys, it's like, hey, we didn't get it done. There's no reason to point the fingers, really, because they're back, and it's awesome to see. Back when they won back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, the first one was there, and then my daughter said, hey, if they win again, you got to get a Red Wings tattoo. I said, well, I'm not getting no tattoo. All right, I will. I said, well, what are the chances, right? Well, they won, right? And lo and behold, I got the Wings wheel on my left bicep there, on my outside arm there.
Hey, Uper Steve, real quick, Uper Steve, was there any thought to getting that winged wheel on the inner thigh like Spencer Raxter's going to have to do?
No.
All right, sorry.
No, I leave that all to him. But it's been here probably 15. What was that? 2007, 2008. The Cup.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah.
Yep.
The last one. Everyone looked at it and said, man, why ain't that fading, man? It looks like that. Is that real? Is that a stamp on there? I said, no, I had it done with a professional. You know what I mean? It's like, but like I said, Stevie's going to right the ship, and it's not no bandwagon. It's just the demeanor that he has, because I've watched the Wings my whole life. I'm going on 59 years young, I went through the trials and tribulations. I went through everything, I remember when everyone used to rag on Primo, but he got the stuff done, But one thing, though, I'm going to leave you with this is we've got to get back to hitting, for God's sakes. I mean, that's the whole problem, because you're right about all our goal scorers and that. They can handle the puck just like the best of them, but the dump and chase is just like, I'd say, if you're going to jump, you better hit them, because otherwise you're not going to get that puck coughed up, and that's it. Right. And I appreciate your time in that, guys.
Absolutely. Appreciate you checking us up from the UP. So Uper Steve chiming in. But D-Mac, again, I mean, and look, that's what we're programmed to do in this town. It all comes back to that, right? We need the physical presence. We need to clear out the front of the net. It always comes back to that. And for me, D-Mac, look, as you said, and I go by what you say, man, because you're funny like that, because played in the NHL. When you say the game has changed, it's changed. And those guys, those days are over. They're over, D-Mac. Please tell them again. Please. I know you don't want to. Help me.
What exactly should I say to get across to the point of being consistent to the fact that it's not the same game as when I played, or they're different factors? Obviously, even to the little thing about the salary cap. I mean, you're either... It's got to the point, Neal, you're either on this track or you're not, right? So if you think Yzerman's a failure because he's been here 5 years or whatever, then I can't have that conversation with you because we're not on the same page, right? I look at it with the books and the money because of salary cap, because it all had to come in. It ain't Mr. Illich's team. It ain't spend. Let's go get this guy, go get that. Different situation. I think if we were in that situation, you're in the playoffs 3 years ago. Right? But you got to build it properly. Go back. What I implore is just listen when Stevie talks. I'm sure he's going to come out today or tomorrow or whatever and tell you exactly where the state of the Wings address is. And the thing is when people don't like what he says or listen to what he says, because did he not tell us exactly this is where the team was? Not a playoff team. At the beginning of the year. Now, they fought hard. They didn't quit. They did everything. Yeah, they collapsed at different points. What are the reasons? But the whole thing is about getting back to the playoffs, right? Steve Yzerman himself said it's about building this foundation so we get back to the playoffs and aren't back here out of the playoffs again. So that's how it's new. Did that help in a different way?
It did. It was. You said it differently.
I said it differently because obviously the last time I said it, the people that got it, they've already got it, so they don't need to listen to this. Maybe I got another person with this sort of.
Okay.
But it's like arguing with Sam Flannel. If I put myself in a stat, then I can understand where he's coming from. But if I put myself in culture and building on what I know and understand.
You have no understanding.
Then there's no understanding. So why would I talk to a rock?
All right, we'll ride off on this before we get to Top 5 Wednesday.
Thank God. That's why I'm here.
Spenning. And D-Mac too. Sam Reinhart. Free agent center. 52 goals. 57 goals. But just 37 assists, which is kind of weird. Bring him home?
Yeah, I'd bring him home. How much is it going to cost?
Well, he made 6.5 last year, and he's with the Panthers. So
Neal winger?
Listed as a center.
Listed as a center. Okay. I mean,
Bring
that's a lot of tucks.
Yeah, it is.
And that's a guy. That's a guy you could pencil into the side. That could be, right? Like that. That's the type of guy.
Jake Gunsel.
It'd be cheaper.
Yeah, but not as dynamic. I mean, that's the trade.
No, he's more second line-ish.
Yeah.
Can play first line. Obviously, anybody who could play with Sidney Crosby. I mean, Gunsel's a good player, and he'd be cheaper, right? Coming off that. So again, put him in your pencil.
Joe Pavelski, he's 40.
Yeah, but he went. Dallas.
He had 27 goals again this year, though, man.
Leader, but he's not. You already have.
No,
you already have him in your cop or your comp or your leadership, whatever. Hey, one of the best. He is arguably top 5 American-born players?
No doubt. No, there is no doubt. All right, when we come back, we're doing it, everybody. Top 5 crappiest cities in America. Top 5 Wednesday. Let me tell you what would be top 1 as far as pet supply stores go.
It's Premier Pet Supply, obviously, because Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years, with 60 different brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply is the best. All you got to do is go to premierpetsupply.com to get your dog the best food he could ever have.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. LesStanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty. KG, Spencer Raxter. You guys know the players, and you know the game.
Damn right.
But yeah, we're sitting here chopping it up. It was heavy Red Wings, as you might imagine, as we just kind of finish up the season because it is over. But speaking of that, because Philadelphia played a part, let's transition to another thing that Philadelphia, I have the feeling, is going to play a part in. You guys know, if you're just jumping in for the first time, on Wednesday we do it. A top 5 Wednesday. Why do we do top 5 lists, Spencer Raxter?
Because they're half as boring as a top 10 list.
There it is. We get to the point. We give you what you want. And it's very random-ass stuff that doesn't necessarily have to do with sports. And they're a lot of fun. We like doing it, and it's our show. And you guys seem to like it too. So without any further ado, let's get to it, everybody. Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 crappiest cities. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Spencer Raxter. Give me your top 5 crappiest cities.
All right, my top 5 list. It starts at number 5. Had to put it there, and you can suck it. Don't care what you think about it. Number 5 is Ann Arbor.
Spenny.
The city of Ann Arbor.
The city's a good city.
It's been very good to me. It's been very, a couple times I've been there. It's been very nice. Still a piece of shit. Hate all of you. Number 5 is Ann Arbor. Number 4, I got wherever Gary Bettman lives. Don't know where he lives, but I know I hate the city because Gary Bettman is a piece of shit, and his city probably sucks just as much as he does. And number 3, I have Washington, D.C. Fuck the Capitals. Fuck all of them. The Wizards suck. Kyle Kuzma's a bum. Jordan Poole's a bum.
No, wait a minute. He's from Flint.
Don't care. Still a bum. Talk shit all the time, and he sucks too. Capitals, you suck. Number 2, I got that shit city of Boston. You pieces of shit. You couldn't do one thing I've ever asked you to do in my entire life. Fuck you, Boston. I hate you. Your city sucks. I do like clam chowder, but your city sucks. So eat shit, Boston. And then at number 1,
Clam chowder.
At number 1, I got the city of Philadelphia. You bum piece of shit, second-class city. You deserve nothing. Rocky sucks. Cheesesteaks suck. You all suck. The Phillies suck. The Eagles suck. And the Flyers are a poverty second-race franchise that deserves nothing but losing the rest of their existence. Fuck the Flyers. Fuck the city of Philadelphia. Fuck C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Good day, sir.
Let's go Red Wings party. Bettman probably lives in Philadelphia.
Probably.
That would be too symmetric if he did live in Philadelphia. Wyatt Bears.
Wait. I got to throw a flag on that. I'm not even going to do that to Philadelphia fans, as bad as they are booing Santa Claus and that. They wouldn't even allow Gary Bettman to live in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that is where they draw the line. More reaction to the Spenny's top 5 crappiest cities as well. Wyatt Bear says Spenny went all sports, and that's fine. It's his top 5 list of top 5 hated cities, top 5 crappiest cities. Mm-hmm. It's open to interpretation. I have my list based on some other stuff. KG, you want to bat second?
Yeah, mine's a little more personal too.
Okay, let's get it.
But definitely, how do I even follow Spenmo's list up? But at number 5.
Wait a minute. This photo of you.
This is the second time this photo has hit air. You didn't notice it the first time.
I didn't?
Yeah.
This photo here, explain.
Okay, so
Lenny
this photo.
Kravitz stage?
No, so this
Why are you
photo,
going to go my way?
This photo is from my 21st birthday celebration. Me and about 11 people that I went to school with and some acquaintances. We took a trip to what's the city? Sandusky. We got a big crappy hotel suite. In which that was very large, and we did about $2,000 worth of damage that night, and got away with it. I never had to pay. So shout out to them.
Well, it's a crappy hotel. They probably didn't know the difference.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't. But man, it was a adventure, no doubt. But that was my 21st birthday photo on Lake Erie. So
I like it. All right, proceed.
You. So at number 5, this is a city that still has a chance to get in my good graces, but the first time I went there wasn't so hot. New Orleans, Louisiana.
I like New Orleans.
Now, the food there, amazing. I have no gripes with the food, but the people and kind of like, it's a real cramped up city, man. And I went on Bourbon Street. It was overrated, in my opinion. And it's just a lot of things that they can do better. But food, they do well there, and the drinking, they do well there as well.
Can confirm. That's why I like it.
Yeah,
all
number
right,
5, but they can get back in my good graces. Number 4, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
What a nothing burger Minneapolis, Minnesota is. There's nothing to do there. The cops are aggressive. The only thing they have is Mall of America and Vikings fans. And we already know how we feel about Vikings fans.
That's fair.
It's even cold there in the summer.
Seriously. We went there like borderline, like right after summer, almost fall, and it was cold as shit. I hate Minneapolis. I won't be going there again.
Valid points you brought up.
Number 3, Kenosha, Wisconsin. So me and my lady, this is about 2 years ago, we take a trip out to Milwaukee, actually. But our
underrated town, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee was great. We went to our Airbnb was in Kenosha, Wisconsin, however, and very racist experience that we had.
Fits the bill for Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that was my first taste of it. Me and my lady, it's 11:30 at night. We're sitting on the balcony that we had, and we're smoking some weed, just enjoying ourselves. Yeah. Pitch black outside. Nobody's outside. This car drives through the neighborhood, and he circles our building about 4 times once he realizes, there's black people up there smoking. So he literally takes his car and drives around the building 4 times, and he's like looking at us and shit like that, almost to the point where I had to go down and kick his ass. But thankfully I didn't. But horrible city. The Mexican food there sucks. So
in Wisconsin, you're kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? But number 2 is the armpit of America, Toledo.
Can't disagree.
What's the purpose of Toledo? Can anyone tell me what the purpose of Toledo, Ohio is?
I don't know.
like Toledo.
For what reason?
Seriously. Okay.
D-Mac's like, you got a good point. Yeah.
Toledo is self-explanatory. It's a nothing of a city. Why does it even exist? And at number 1, only to be outdone by Cleveland, Ohio. Some of the worst Chinese food I've ever had in my life out
listen
there.
to this.
I got to take Kenny to the wrestling gig when we fight 440. That's area code in Ohio, because you really got some Ohio issues. We can take it out on these Ohio clowns.
Now here's a great example of it. Like, I have really warmed up to Ohio, especially Cleveland, because their bourbon game's on point. There's a website. You can see what's available in the stores around you. If you want something good and it's there, you can go walk in and get it.
But guess what? All the liquor stores close at 9 o'clock.
More on that later on my list.
It's fucking horrible. The only good things to come out of Cleveland are LeBron James and Kid Cudi. That's it.
And he was from Akron, so they can't even claim him. They ran him off.
Cleveland, you are a horrible city. Cincinnati is better.
Reaction to KG's top 5 list. And I think this is important. That's why I interrupt you, D-Mac, and step in front of you. Alex Haggerty. Dreads have to start somewhere.
That's a good one.
That was a funny one.
That was a good one.
That was a very funny one. That was from the KG Dreads formative days, right?
Yeah, it was when they was getting up there. No hang time.
Jason says it's all about the food, huh, KG? That's his list.
Listen,
he can do what he wants.
Some of the worst Chinese food I've ever had in my existence in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was recommended, so that's why I'm pissed off.
Here on Mark M, Toledo's like a doormat, so you can wipe your feet before you enter Michigan.
Exactly. It's a speed trap. It's a glorified speed trap. It's Toledo, Ohio. That's all it is.
Absolutely. Adis 411, Toledo has Jeep. AC say Cleveland also has Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, shout out to Bone Thugs.
Shout out Bone Thugs. All right, D-Mac, you ready to step in here?
Yes, sir.
All right, D-Mac's top 5 most disliked city.
Worst Wawa in the world, Philadelphia. So I don't
understand how you can have a bad Wawa.
I'll get on your train and you know, driving's a little suspect there too. So Philly, I'm there a lot, through it a lot. But I'll put that number 5. Oshawa, Ontario, home of the Generals. We played them in junior, and it's just that Eric Lindros was there, and just every time there, I think I got food poisoning at a Swiss Chalet there one time. So definitely never stop in Oshawa.
Yeah.
Hartford, Connecticut. They only got a mall. I mean, I remember having chicken wings there. We
and
played
a Capitol
there.
building. That's it.
And that's it.
That's
like,
it.
there's really just nothing there. Like,
Sounds like Toledo.
There's a mall, and the rink's in the mall. I
Jesus.
just always remember that because it was, you know, like the Hartford, Connecticut is the Hamilton.
Of
the
NHL.
The state,
Yeah.
right? The NHL. There.
Ain't that where the WWE
Number 2, Rake. It's for you. Richfield, New Jersey.
All right, why?
That is where oh my God. That is where we do the Hart Ballroom, where one of the great meccas is. But it is no grass in Richfield. All street, houses upon houses, no parking, like one-lane streets and stuff like this. It's just, it reminds me of when you see third world countries piled on top of each other.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm
New
saying?
Jersey.
Like the driving and it's just like anxiety. And then there's like awful drivers. So Richfield, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And number 1, wherever obnoxious Leafs fans dwell.
So that's all encompassing. That could be anywhere in America.
That's mostly Canada, mostly southern Ontario, but it can be everywhere else. And guess what? This is their time of year to get obnoxious. So, yes. So there's my list.
All right, I like it. I will wrap things up. Okay, here you go. And again, you guys know that I stay true. There we go. Yeah, I like that.
What picture is that from?
One of the little high school dances, I think it was.
No, he was accepting an award to something. I mean, come on.
Is that the suture?
Had to be the valedictorian or the honors roll.
No, I think it was a high school dance. I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
So, electric times though. Those were good. Those were good old times. All right, you guys know how I do this, right? Like, I stay true to the resume. I love Las Vegas. I love going. I go with the guys every year. Las Vegas is electric. There is no energy in the world like a flight to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Especially during the afternoon, because people get into it.
No, they do.
And I'm here for it. I'm one of them. I like it. I enjoy it. However, Sunday nights in Las Vegas, when you go to the airport and you're flying home, are awful. Awful. You're in regret glaze, and you know you should have slept more, and you know you're not going to sleep on this flight back, and it's a grim scene. As great as it is, Sunday nights in Las Vegas suck. Number 4, Houston.
Damn, what's wrong with H-Town?
Everything is so spread out, man. When there's like a Final Four or a Super Bowl or whatever, the stadium is a 30-minute Uber from the convention center,
Jesus.
and then the convention center is a 20-minute Uber from where your hotel is. Like, it's too big,
Yeah.
and there's only one way in and out of everywhere. Constant traffic in Houston. Houston sucks, man. And they're so celebrated all the time. Houston is. They have a franchise and everything, and nobody goes. They I don't understand. Like they just run as a great sports town, and nobody cares. Like I just don't. I don't understand the love affair for Houston. Number 3, Memphis. Beale Street, right? We were in town to play Memphis one time.
Yeah.
All fired up to go to Beale Street, and it was like a Sunday night, and it sucked. There was nobody there, so I sit down at the bar. I asked the dude, I'm like, so what's the story, man? Like, I thought this was Beale Street. It was rocking. He's like, well, it's Sunday night. You need to be here when it's Friday or Saturday. I can go anywhere in America on a Friday or Saturday, and it slaps. Like, oh, it's Beale Street. It's Memphis.
Yeah.
So, no, that place sucks.
Stop going places on Sunday.
Way overrated. Number 2, Salt Lake City. If you have to be a member to go to a bar, then your place sucks. Period. End of story.
Out the gate.
That's it. It's a wrap. And number 1, Philadelphia. And this has got nothing to do with the Flyers, everyone, and what happened last night. This has to do with the city being trash. People want to come down on Detroit. Have you been to Philadelphia? Have you walked through the city streets and dined with the rats that are all crawling around? I've seen it. I have photos of it. They're everywhere. It's a trash city, and if literally and figuratively. And if you want to go somewhere at night, nope. Nothing's open. Jesus. There are no bars. Everything is closed at 10 o'clock. If they didn't sign the Constitution there, that would be a third world country. The only thing that saves it is the fact that they signed the Constitution there. And it was probably because that's what the closest spot everybody was to at the time. Because there's no way they chose it. There's no way they said, oh, let's all meet in Philly and sign the Constitution.
Yeah.
Trash city, dirty-ass city, no fun city. All of it, plus everything Spencer Raxter said as well. That's our top 5 list. Philadelphia's trash.
Rocky doesn't suck, though. That's the only thing I'll stand up for.
It's a movie. It's not even real.
I get it, but it's a great movie. Series.
Give me the RoboCop statue 100 times out of 100.
Why don't we have the RoboCop statue?
100 times out of 100 over a Rocky statue. Corey,
Neal's
Philly.
not mayor yet.
Yep, Philly, dirtiest airport by far. Exactly, MPWMU. Philly makes Cleveland look like Maui.
Jesus.
It's out there.
Eat shit, Philly.
Yeah,
That's
Philly was on 3
Tell
of
us,
y'all
Betty.
lists, so.
Yeah.
Trash.
Philly make all our list? Did it make your list?
No, I've never been to Philly. Man,
You
y'all
never
make
been
it
to
not
Philly?
want to
I've
go.
never been to
Oh,
Philly
look
either.
at you, KG.
I only named the
I've
places
never
I
been
went
to
to.
any of the cities I've been. They were on my list except for Ann Arbor.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's your list. You do what you want. Let me tell you what's number 1 on my list of gyms. That's right, Planet Fitness. Because we're live at the Planet Fitness studios. You guys know the drill already. It's $1 down, $10 a month. It's always been $1 down, $10 a month. The Black Card's always been $1 down, $24.99 a month. I keep hearing about inflation. Not a Planet Fitness, everybody. Over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. 2,500 of them around the world. The best facilities, the cleanest facilities. They're the anti-Philadelphia of gyms, everybody. That is right, because it is Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join there, pull in the parking lot. You can join. It's the best value in the gym game. It's the best gym in the gym game. That's it. That's all. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
The BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner, and more. This event is open to athletes, coaches, and parents, but space is limited. So go to our website and purchase your tickets today at www.bgcsm.org.
Nashville Hot Chicken
Yes.
is back at Soroki's. They've got the tenders, they've got the sandwich, but they also have loaded fries and the all-new Nashville Hot Pizza. This is a limited time offer, so come enjoy the delicious heat while you still can. Nashville Hot is back at Soroki's. You can go to one of their 11 locations, or you can order online at Sorokis.com. Come enjoy the delicious heat while you still can.
All right, a little bit of breaking NBA news. Jonte Porter has been suspended from the NBA for violating the league's gambling rules. A league investigation found Porter provided information about his health status to bettors and limited his participation in one or more games for betting purposes and bet on NBA games, according to the NBA. So that is a lifetime ban. Well, see you later.
Well, see you later.
Hope it was worth it, man. Like, I don't...
Yeah. Hit with the band hammer in real life.
Yep, that is it.
Speaking of NBA, the dismantling of the Golden State Warriors last night.
I know. And how does everybody feel about that?
That is crazy, man. Clay went like 0 for 10 or something that. Oh my
It was a
God.
fitting. It was the end.
It was bad. I tuned in the third quarter and was like, "What the hell is going on here?" But
your assessment of it, Spenmo, because I have a buddy who's a big time Sacramento Kings fan, which you don't see a lot of, but he's from NorCal. And he was fired up to put the dagger in the franchise.
Yeah, they may be done.
They're cooked. They're done. Their run is over. I mean, they had a dynasty for sure. But,
yeah.
But that time is over. They're getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond's not what he used to be. Klay Thompson is obviously
choking
not
people
what he
every
used
other
to
week.
be. Like Steph Curry's still him, but can't do it by himself. Andrew Wiggins had his Linsanity run, and now he's back to earth on what he was as a player. So, yeah, Warriors are cooked.
Yeah.
Are people happy?
I like the Warriors.
Yeah,
I did too because they were fun.
Yeah. And they did change the game with the way they played.
100%.
And I wanted to see Day get chips. It's my guy.
And he did.
And he did.
He did. Now he's choking
And he got a
people every
bag.
week.
And he did.
And he did. And he punched Jordan Poole in the face.
And he did.
Jordan Poole's a bum.
And he did.
Yeah. Jordan Poole got benched on the Wizards. Bum.
Yeah.
It was tough to see Draymond hoisting up those threes last night, though.
Yeah, that's how you know. If Dre just out there just pulling it like that, you know it's over. Like
it was tough.
Oh man. R.I.P. to the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, they had a generational run though.
Absolutely.
Oh, no doubt. So, yeah, that could be it. They're knocked out, right? Yeah, they're knocked out. At these 4-1, they are eliminated.
They haven't drafted good young talent. Yes, it's bad.
Well, I mean, but that's the story.
Yeah.
Right?
Wiseman was a dud.
And that was their thing. Like their bridge.
Kaminga was
they caught that break where they had the number 2 overall pick, right?
Yeah.
And
they picked the wrong player for their system.
Yes,
James
they did.
Wiseman. Yeah. It's horrible.
No doubt.
Could have got LaMelo Ball.
Whew. I'd be looking a little different.
So it is. Shout out to the Golden State Warriors. I don't know, D-Mac, what about that? Like with Klay Thompson, it's over.
What a run.
How does that feel though?
Every good thing or every time's undefeated. So
because I get the feeling.
James.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, except LeBron, because I get the feeling it's not all sadness, right? Like
no. I mean there is some that nobody wants great things to come to an end, but it's also time to move on, and different people are at different points when they get further on in their career of priorities, but you can't never take what they did away from them, or they have that the rest of their lives.
When Bob Myers walked out, that was the beginning of the end.
That was a wrap.
That's true.
That was the beginning of the end.
No, I mean, and what does it surprise you? No, the writing's sort of on the wall in the last few years. But what's it been? An 8-year run, 10-year run? I mean,
yeah,
you can't deny it.
So,
I mean,
no,
and they won one before Durant and one after Durant, so they're stamped. Like,
yeah, we did it any way you wanted.
Yeah,
we won before him, with
How do
him,
you want
after
it?
him. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're a Tupac dynasty. How do you want it? Because they did it every single way.
and like KG said, they changed the way basketball is played in the NBA.
People are asking, is Draymond a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah.
in the NBA, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
everybody gets in there. And the role he
One
played
of the
with
best
the team
defensive
stats.
players ever. Yeah.
Is Klay Thompson a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
He should be. Yeah. One of the
They
greatest
all
shooters ever.
splat, yeah, because they're part of the Splash Brothers.
I got an argument. Is Blake Griffin a Hall of Famer?
No.
5-time All-NBA player?
Probably.
No
They'll
rings,
probably
though.
make it.
Rookie of the Year?
Who's his comparable that's in? Who is he? Who's already in that you say Blake deserves to be in more than this guy.
Yeah, I don't think
some not from the 40s, but
They put
80s, 90s, 2000s that you could draw comparable because the NBA Hall of Fame
A little easier.
it's more of a
Yeah, they put
popularity
everybody in.
contest.
Yeah.
It's not an NBA Hall of Fame.
But-
though, that's
Well,
for
basketball
sure.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I don't think he should be in.
Really, why? He's
mean-
a 5-time All-NBA player. Five-time.
The individual little awards is there, but just overall, no rings, a lot of early exits, a lot of injury problems over his career. Didn't play a ton of games.
I'd say he's probably the one at the door. Like you look at Blake Griffin and what he's brought or whatever, and that might be the one left out. So I don't know the NBA Hall of Fame enough other than to know that they
Here you
they
go,
let
D-Mac.
everybody in
The
there.
only person
Here's the answer to the question. Apollo, if Bosch is in, Blake's getting in.
But Bosch has cups. Bosch has rings.
Don't do that. Bosch was a better player. than Blake.
Bosch is better legacy.
You can't say Bosch wasn't better
I mean,
than Blake.
if Tim Hardaway's in,
But he
Blake
doesn't he have a
Griffin
ring?
should be in. No.
No.
He's he's 5-time
okay, so-
NBA All-Star.
And like you said, his best statistical
Only a
season.
4-time NBA or All NBA team.
His best season was with the Pistons.
If
Analytically.
if Tim Hardaway's in, then Blake Griffin's gonna get
But
it.
that Lob City East team, that was a disappointment.
5-time All-NBA, though.
I
Not a
get it.
5-time All-Star. 5-time All-NBA player.
I get it. A lot
Well,
of flashy
NBA
plays. I get it all. A lot of flashy dunks. I get it.
Yeah, there was some sizzle to it.
It was. But
Jumped over a car.
Kia, but I mean, but compared to what we seeing today, that was like that shit was amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
So it was a good discussion, I thought. Tell them about Lady Jane's, D-Mac.
Yes, awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Neal Ruhl here for woodwardsports.com/shop. That's right, everybody. Get it in. Get ready for the NFL draft. It's coming up. We're going to get into it deep tomorrow as a matter of – we're doing Draft Thursday, Draft Friday. Okay. We're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going in. From the windows to the walls.
I won't be here on Friday, but
All right, well, we're still doing it anyway. All right. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. There's Woodward Sports Golf Line as well. Look fly, everybody. woodwardsports.com/shop. Boy, the chat's all of a sudden pretty electric right now about this whole Blake Griffin thing. MPWMU, Blake Griffin's 20 times the player Draymond was.
I don't know about that.
if you don't count winning chips or defensive player of the years.
Yeah. I don't know why you looking at me, man. Blake just
Blake
not, he's not a Hall of Famer to me.
Like I said, Blake will make it.
Yeah.
If Tim Hardaway's in, Blake Griffin's going to get in.
That is true.
Tim Hardaway had the crossover. Blake Griffin had all those poster dunks. They both had their signature NBA moments. They have the same exact resume. He'll get in.
I agree with you, Spenny, in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is it.
No, we ain't touch on the Tigers.
No, we didn't. Time got away from us
Yeah,
there.
we can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, certainly we can.
They had a big win yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike G, I want my Utah Caucasian Coyotes tee in the merch shop.
Apollo says Blake is a dunk icon. He'll make it in the NBA business purpose. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll make it. I just personally
He's still
don't feel like
he was a 20 and 10 guy too. That has a little something to do with it.
That definitely helps. Yeah. It's not like he was He's not like
he wasn't
Derek Jones Jr. Who's just a dunk guy.
He wasn't a bum.
He was also a very good player.
I personally just don't feel like he's in there, but he'll make it.
I like the story. So, did you get this one? Because I know I missed the other day, but Kyle says Salt Lake City Stormin' Mormons.
Oh, yeah.
We saw that one.
Everything was well represented. Everything. Blake, by the way, with the Pistons, 25 points, just about 8 rebounds, 7 assists per game.
He had a great year with the Pistons.
5 assists per game. Shot 36% from 3, by the way.
He took that team to the playoffs on one leg.
Yep.
I'll stand by that.
By himself.
36% from 3 as well. D-Mac, you're in tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Thursday, right?
Thursday. I keep thinking today is Thursday,
Yeah,
but it is not.
40 Gumbo says Mac McClung, future Hall of Fame. He's got to play games in the NBA first.
Right? All that dunking shit is cool. But
has there ever been like a more accepted G League guy than Matt McClung?
No, I don't think so.
Like, I bet if you took it to the streets that 70% of people think he's in the NBA.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably more.
Probably more.
Not even
I'm
close.
one of them.
Yeah.
Not an NBA
close.
player?
Nope.
I thought he was.
NBA player or attorney at law?
Mac McClung,
Right.
like, I mean,
The dunks is great, but
if he did anything in the NBA, he would have a good case. Like a good. If he had a good NBA career, he would have a case to make the Basketball Hall of Fame because what he did in high school. Like, he broke Allen Iverson's record. He was one of the best high school basketball players of all time. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Blake, too. number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
You know?
Now that the wings are done,
Yes.
little hiatus for the lines and stuff, must-see TV starting 110, Tarek Skubal on the mound.
Well, that's right. Yeah. He's on the bump today.
Hey.
Anybody else wants to join the DMAC party and can't miss when he's on the mound. You're I believe you're seeing, right now 2-0, 2.08 ERA, whips at .75. I think he's just going to get stronger every outing.
And Neal, I hate to say it.
What?
Javi, he took a walk.
He did take a walk.
He did take a walk.
I forgot to do the Javi update.
Yeah, you forgot to do Javi watch.
There
but
it
he did
is.
Take a walk.
Hold on.
Better late than never as we lead into the game. I think Javi Baez's on-base percentage is up to 340.
Javi watch time.
All right, Javi Watch, real quick. This is the short version of Javi Watch because I was told he's back. You just told me he's back because he took a walk, you said.
He's back.
Okay.
Made a great play, too.
Yeah, that defensive.
The batting average is down to 143.
There we go.
1 home run.
Okay.
4 RBIs.
Oh, yeah.
OPS is 374.
There it is.
If you want some analytics for today's performance, he is hitting 087 at home. 087. His on-base percentage at Comerica Park is 120.
Jesus.
That's including that walk.
He's back.
That walk was at home.
Yeah.
So a walk aided 120. Are you kidding? But hey, he picked it yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a play that was!
Yeah.
I know.
So you'll take it, right? The rest-
Right. It's just washes away all his sins.
Oh yeah, I'll take it. $25 million for
that play.
Fielding a ground ball.
I got a better use for $25 million.
See, guys, this is my issue with it. Like you, Mike G. El Mago drawing walks. Yes, sir. No, Mike G. El Mago drew a walk.
A walk, yeah. Singular.
Don't make this into something it's not.
I mean,
it is not
back-to-back walks, Javi. You could do it today, buddy.
He got hit by a pitch, but cough.
Back-to-back games
No, we
walk.
all agree that was not in
I
fact
know,
a walk.
but technically it is. But cough
All right.
off.
That will do it. We'll be back at it tomorrow, everybody. For DMAC, for KG, for Spencer Rex. Thanks to all the callers, by the way, and everybody in the chat as well. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.